Y'all, Grand Rising. To anybody who will come across this message now and in the future, first and foremost, I want to say that this was on my heart this morning, this rising. I usually make a habit when I get up in the morning to do my morning routines, and one of those is my daily affirmations. So before I come in contact with anybody and allow whatever they have going on in their life to project on me, and you know how that goes. I get up and I set the tone for my day, and I do my affirmations, and I get into my zone. I get into my vibe, and set the tone for my day. So I already know what type of day I'm gonna have, and it's always gonna be a great day. It's always gonna be a great day. Well, this rising, usually around 10 or 11 o'clock, I might get on social media and see what's going on over there. And more often than not, I see posts and memes about being careful. Be careful with the ones that don't like your post, but do this for somebody else. You gotta watch the ones that don't clap for you and da 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 da. All that. Now listen, I'm not saying that those memes and messages aren't relatable, because we've all been in situations where the people we consider to be friends and family and loved ones was not there for us in the capacity that we may have been there for them. Okay? That's life. We can relate to friends who may have envied us a little bit, and that's life. But what I want to draw everybody's attention to is your focus and what you give life to, what you give breath to, and how important it is to be selective on the thoughts and messages that you give breath to. Okay? So ultimately, those messages and those memes don't reflect the kind of relationships and friendships that you want to have, that you desire to have. Those things that we are commenting and sharing about negative friendships and family relationships, those are not what we desire to see in the future. And I hope everybody's on the same page with me with that. You don't want more friends who don't celebrate you. I think so, right? All right, that's one. You don't want more friends that don't see you as a threat. You don't want more friends that talk behind your back. You don't want more friends who aren't there for you. You don't want more friends that don't support you in your business. So, family as well. So if that is the case, if this is something that you do not want more of, then guess what? Zip it. Zip it. All right? Over the last few years, more than a few, but heavier on the last couple years, I have stopped people mid-sentence. I'm not saying what you have to say isn't valid. I'm not saying what you have to say isn't true. And you absolutely are, entitled to feel how you want to feel. But I want you to be mindful that in that feeling, you are only drawing those things that you say you don't want closer to you. Now, I'm not going to quote no scriptures. You go and find your scriptures on your own. But your words are powerful. Okay? Life and death is in the tongue. That is absolutely true on every level. If all you talk about is what something isn't, or how something has failed to meet your expectations, it will always fail to meet your expectations. It will always fail. Because you're telling it with your mouth that it will fail in your conversation. If your children are misbehaving and all you talk about is how they misbehaving, they will always misbehave. So, one of the things that I would love for us to try, get in the habit of being selective on what you focus on. Being selective on what you speak about. How you speak about it. Being selective about the conversations that you listen to. Being selective about the thoughts that you choose to think. Every day, one of my affirmations is gratitude. You know, I thank the Creator. I thank all those entities that protect me and guide me. My angels, ancestors, spirit guides, ascended masters, Jesus, whatever you want to call it, okay? Whatever you believe. But I believe that God is love, you know. That is the highest, strongest emotion, the highest frequency. It's love. If you lead with love, you'll never go wrong. But expectation, having an expectation to have a good experience every time, and I always do. I have an expectation that I will be treated well, and I will be treated with respect, and I always am. And I don't give no, even when I'm going through something, guys, listen, I'm not saying that I'm exempt, and I'm not saying that I don't have people and situations and circumstances in my life that make me be like, yeah, you know what, you're right. These people ain't. They this and that. They are. Let them be it. But I don't know if y'all know who Reverend Ike is, but Reverend Ike, he would say, he always speak of people as friends. Like, oh, I'm going to see my friends down at the bank. Because carrying that energy of, these are my friends, these are people who care about me, gets you a different result. When you have an expectation or a negative thought that you carry around with you, that you have enemies and that people are out to get you, people will be out to get you. You will have enemies. You know why? Because you're projecting it. Think of yourself as a magnet, and your thoughts draw those things to you, and they can, like a magnet. So I had very, very many friends that say, oh, men ain't this and that, and you, the more you talk about them, you draw that same one right to you. It's just like this. You be like, oh, another one. Oh, another one. If you guys, listen. It sounds crazy to many people, and this is why maybe I procrastinated so much in having this type of conversation. But pretending and imagining a new experience, a new dialogue will do wonders for your life. Now, right now where I am, I can't quite describe it, because most of us kind of rate or, look at our life on a scale of material abundance. Material things is how we measure our success. And the place that I'm in right now is I've mastered my mind and my emotions and my responses. And that to me is wealth. One of the pieces of wealth, because when you are in control of your mind and your thoughts, and you're conscious of your thoughts, and you're conscious of the thoughts that you're thinking throughout the day, and you're conscious of the thoughts that you allow yourself to lay on for a couple minutes or a couple hours or a couple days, and you say, hold on, is this thought projecting what I want to see, or is this thought projecting something that has already taken place that I did not like? I did not enjoy the experience. It didn't give me that warm and fuzzy feeling. Mastering your emotions, guys, to me, it'll save you a world of trouble. It really will. Mastering your thoughts. Every once in a while, I can admit, I'll take a little short trip down memory lane. I'll be like, oh, I remember so-and-so. I put up a video from a few years ago. It was Thanksgiving time. I was cooking all this food. At the time, my fiance and I lived in a really beautiful home. Nice, big, beautiful home. It was the biggest home I'd ever lived in. And for a moment, I thought back to this no good son of a whoop, boop, 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 boop. But then I said, you know what? It's no sense in being upset. In those moments, you take away what was great about that situation. And that's what I chose to do. I lived very comfortably. I didn't have any bills because he paid them all. I was able to focus on my children. I was able to spoil them and do things with them that I probably wouldn't have been able to do if I was single and paying all the expenses on my own. We had a lot of amazing times in that house. A lot of laughs. It was a time of abundance for me, and I wasn't even aware of it, but I was living pretty well. I was very comfortable, and that is something that I enjoyed. So opposed to me taking away from it how it ended in our relationship, and though we are still friends, I take away from it the joy, the happiness, the game nights, the us out in the backyard, the us out backyard cooking and playing music, and the kids on the little swing set. I take away living in a beautiful area, having nice neighbors, having this huge kitchen that I loved, having this huge bedroom, master suite, that was like the size of my apartment now. And I can be grateful, and I can look at it and find joy in it. So what you have to learn how to do in each and everything, if you go somewhere and your food wasn't good, and this and this and this and that happened, but you met a guy on the way home and he told you a joke and it made you laugh, focus on the guy that told you the joke and made you laugh, and leave the rest of that alone. I'm trying not to cuss, y'all. Y'all see how good I'm doing? Yeah. I said I was going to stop cussing. And leave everything else. So you don't have to go back and repeat how bad the food was. You don't have to go back and repeat how bad the service was, how bad the parking was, any of those things. You can pull that one thing or those two things out of that day and say, I'm running to this guy, and when I tell you out the blue he just told me this joke and I was down laughing and I was smiling for the rest of the day, that is a vibe. That is an energy, that is a frequency that you're going to be giving off. And all those types of energies are going to draw to you those high vibrational energies, those high frequency things. Those, somebody's going to come tell you a joke. Somebody's going to offer to do something for you. Somebody's going to call you and say, hey, you know, I was thinking about you. Somebody's gonna see your business and want to invest in you because you're giving off that vibe. If you're guarded and you think everybody is against you, you cannot win. You cannot win in that mindset. So I came on here to tell y'all about the memes and the messages that we share. So I just want to get back to that before I sign off. And I just want to say, you can't. You can't share it. Like, I tell a lot of jokes. Everybody knows me. I tell a lot of jokes. And even now, I'm more selective about the type of jokes that I tell. Because I know that if I continually tell the joke, your subconscious mind has no sense of humor. Okay? And maybe everybody, we might have to do a little subconscious mind workshop, because I need everybody to understand that your subconscious mind does not know the difference between you saying something and meaning it and not. It just is. Okay? So when you joke even about your health, your relationships, and anything that's negative, your business, and you joking and you like, oh, well, this and that ain't this and that, whatever you could possibly say that does not serve you, your subconscious mind is like, oh, okay, that's what you want me to do? Oh, men ain't nothing? Oh, so you want another no good man? Oh, so all your friends is jealous of you? Oh, so I'm going to see you more friends that's jealous of you. Oh, so you just can't get ahead? Oh, we're going to make sure that you never get ahead. That's what I want everybody to get. That's it. Okay? So that was on my heart. I got a message the other night, y'all. They had me in one of these, and I was holding back my tears, and I'm like, somebody's emotional today. Okay. But I've been getting quite a few messages, but a lady told me that I was an earth angel. I was like, earth angel? Okay. I'm always open when somebody gives me a message, especially if it's positive. So I listen. I patiently listen, because I'm like, I want to know what she's talking about. Okay. So she says, you have a gift and the world needs to see you. I said, oh, okay. All right. To serve the people. To motivate them to speak to them. Okay. Now it's a lot of people who don't know me, who know me but don't necessarily know me well. They may know bits and pieces of my life and my story, what I've chosen to share or what have you. But I went through an awakening. And it was a result of some very tough obstacles. I'll say that. That's the word I'll use for now. Some situations that happened in my life that forced me to dig, like really dig. And when I was led to the things that I needed to get me through and this new way of thinking, this new mindset, and just meditation, affirmations, all these things that were tools to me to get me through. and to stop me from losing my mind. Okay? Because I almost lost my mind a couple times. A transformation took place. But one of my biggest, I don't know if it's a dilemma, was telling the story and practicing, emotional intelligence, and knowing that the memory, this is not my quote, the memory without the emotional response is wisdom. I'm going to say that again. The memory without the emotional response is wisdom. That's Joe Dispenza, not me. Okay, one of the many people that I study and follow, and listen to a lot of his lectures. But I didn't know how to start. I didn't know how to walk into that story and tell it from the place that I'm in now, without making myself sound like a victim and not wanting to be pitied, or I don't need nobody feeling bad for me. That's not the vibe that I want. I want you to be like, yeah, send me that strong energy, that good strong energy. I need that. I don't need that. Oh, I don't need that. That's not gonna help me. But when the lady said these things to me, and she talked to me for a while, and she told me that she told me she was honored to be in my presence. And I'm like, oh, okay, all right. And guys, I believe that we're all here on this earth, and that we're just a speck in the galaxies upon galaxies and dimensions, and we're multi-dimensional beings in this physical body. I don't want to go there with y'all. I don't want to get deep, but when people like that come across your path and they have a message for you, and you know that those higher powers, those things in life that we can't explain, the stories that we hear about angels coming in and doing something for somebody, and then they look up and that person is gone, those things are real. Those things are real, y'all. And I can listen. I've gotten more than one story about people that have just showed up and for me, and then just poof, disappeared. But this lady in particular, she talked to me for about 40 minutes. And the whole time, I'm thinking to myself, wow, so you really gonna make me do this, huh? Guys, I've had this ring light for over a year. I started recording over a year ago. I didn't put anything out. I've been hiding a little bit. I can say I kind of been hiding. Even though most people see me as an extrovert, I'm a people person. I'm always, if you've been around me and I'm comfortable with you, I'm always laughing and telling jokes. I can be very withdrawn. I'm a crab. My Venus is in Cancer. Okay. And I'm just, I can be withdrawn, and I just like to stick to myself. And yesterday, I didn't go out the house until 7 p.m. I was in here. I woke up, started working. I didn't move. But in many ways, I've avoided the spotlight. And it has been many times that people have been like, oh, come over here, stand under the spotlight. And I'm like, I'm not standing under that spotlight. I don't want nobody looking at me. I didn't want it. I did radio, and radio was fun because I'm behind. I'm just a voice. Nobody sees my face. I don't have to, you know, worry about what I'm looking like, what I'm wearing. And even this rising, I took my bonnet off and I just put this little scarf on because I'm like, you know what? I'm not finna do all this. I just want to get this message out. But yeah, the lady, she told me I was an earth angel. She told me that I needed to speak. She told me that I needed to share my gifts and what I had learned. And I'm like, sharing. Oh gosh. I just think one of the things that I need to master in doing this and going forward with this is not taking on and taking in the negative emotions of other people around me. And that's one of the reasons I shelter and I kind of stay in, is because I'm very sensitive to the thoughts, feelings, and emotions of others. I pick them up. They don't even have to talk. You could be sitting in a corner and I can walk past you and I can feel it. And I'll know things. And we ain't gonna go there. Y'all know I'm from Louisiana and it's in my bloodline. And I accept it. I cherish it at this point because I know that it's a gift. It's sometimes overwhelming. Sometimes I'm like, do I have to say something? You know, because when it's certain situations, I feel almost obligated to pull the person to the side and say, hey, listen, I know you don't know me, whatever the case may be, but I need you to do this. And then they looking at me like, who are you? And why you in my business? I'm like, you know, I'm just me. But I have to be obedient. When I get that nudge, it's like, go say something. I'm like, go say something. No, I don't want to say nothing. And then another thing too is my Mercury is in Leo. And I'm going to be educating y'all on these things. But which means I communicate like a Leo. So I sometimes can be brash. I'm very straightforward. What's a filter? What's that? I don't know what a filter is. I don't filter. I'm working now to stop using, cuss words and slang only because I'm becoming. And as a part of becoming and elevating to this next level, you have to be conscious of what you say, the words that you use, because when you're dealing with millions and millions of dollars, you can't be talking about what you finna do. You gotta come correct. So I say that to say this. I was apprehensive, and I have been apprehensive for quite some time on doing any type of speaking to people or helping people. Being a healer. I'm a healer. That's something else that I was told, and so funny. I'm almost at 30 minutes, but hey, if it's meant for you to watch it, you'll see it. I touched a lady one day, and she was in pain. And she told me, she says, you know what? I don't feel any more pain. She says, you have healing hands. I said, okay, I received that. I'm very humble. Like when people tell me something, I'll be like, I know. We don't do that. Just be like, thank you. I want to do that. You know, I want to serve in any way that I can serve. If you know, this life isn't just about me. It's not. And I'm just finding my way, guys. So I'm gonna end the video with saying that think before you share a negative experience. Think before you share anything that is not a joyful and happy experience. Think before you repeat something that was negative. And think about, why do I need to repeat this information? Why do I need to share this? What is it? How does it serve me? And if it doesn't serve you, and it doesn't speak to what you want to experience in your life, then I just want you to hush. Just hush. You know? Just hush your mouth. Just close it right on up. Because I can guarantee you that you will continue to experience one negative situation or another just by what you're thinking and what you're speaking and what you're sharing on social media. It's like planting a seed. So, with that being said, I want to send everybody some peace, love, and light. Lots and lots of light. Lots and lots of love. And lots of peace. Okay? And I pray that this message gave you something. If you took one thing away from it, then it served its purpose. All right? So